Loading. I want to record. Is that recording? Oh, I'm a bit paranoid. I don't know. Is it recording? I'm gonna have to. I'm just have to stop this and see if it is. New camera, new technology, a lot of bollocks, a lot of faffing about, massive delay as I do that. There's like a 3-second delay. I hope that's coming out all right. I'm just gonna stop that and yeah. Fucking technology. Ah!
Now this is a view we've not seen of me in a long time, and it's yeah, it's a bit bright here. It's a bit ugly. You can see all the lines on my face. We're getting old. Anyway, today road trip. Not been to one for ages, so I thought we'd do a little bit of vloggy style thing, and we're going to Dana and Ant's event. We're going to the Birmingham Black Country Retro Market event fair thing. We're going now. I've got to go over and get Craig first, so yeah, we're gonna shoot over there and yeah, have a look around, see what trouble we can cause. That's it. Well, that was a fucking nightmare. We're eventually here. There's some people, some other people here. But Craig's very reluctant to get on. Very reluctant to get on camera straight. But yeah, we've made it to Birmingham. These videos have gone in and got all the mics. We're here.
right, I'm going to trust it. I'm going to trust that's going. I can see it counting down. So, you know. And the good thing about this one is that the looking at the viewfinder that's now flipped up, because there's so many seconds delay, that's going to really put me off. So I'm going to look directly at you. What a faff! I'm doing this for another time. This is the second time I'm filming this. There's too much light. I know, who knew? Believe it or not, there's too much light. So it's bleaching all the screens out. So I've had to do all that stuff. I'm just going to have a rant about technology. So I've been using my phone now for a while. And going on holiday this year. And I thought I need some sort of a waterproof camera. Because I'm going to be doing some cool stuff. And I want to record it for ourselves. For posterity. So I thought I want an action camera. But I didn't want to go back the GoPro. And Stuart, 2TUK, Stuart, has kind of put me off the going back to the GoPro because of his overeating and stuff. Now I did see these Insta360 Go 3s, and it has a flip up screen so you can do vlog style stuff like this, which means I can see you, I can hold stuff up and know that you've seen it. I don't know about the fisheye lens though. I want to go into the settings and see if I can change that, because I'm not a big fan of the old fisheye lens. I've just set, I'm sitting right on top of you, which might be alright for the audio. But yeah, I'm recording this again. But I recorded this the other day. God knows where it's gone. It was in my phone and now it's gone. Now the viewfinder's gone off, which is super annoying. But the red light is still flashing. So I'm assuming that that you can still see me. If I touch the screen, will it come back on? Yes, it does. So if you see me do that later, it's because it's gone off. Again, there'll be a setting or something. Got it on its highest resolution, 2.7K. We're not quite 4K here, but then, you know, we've never been a full shilling, have we? I think it makes me look slimmer though. Does it make me look slimmer? That's a plus. There you go, there's a bonus. Now, before I do anything, I'm going to have a drink because it's Friday night here. And yeah, we like a bit of imbibement, don't we? So we've got hold of this Copperberg rum. Never tried this. I do like a rum. I like a spiced rum. And this is by Copperberg. So it's a dark fruits one. And I like dark fruit cider. And I like Copperberg. So let's see what's in it. So a bit of footage there, if it worked, of the Black Country Fair or the Black Country Games Market. It's like Benelin. I'm not sure if that's a good thing. Wow, smells very fruity. But we're going to do the old, we're going to mix it with Diet Coke. So we're on a diet here, you've got to watch your weight. We'll put my usual measure in. Oh my God, it's bright purple. Look at that, the colour of that. It looks like that stuff that takes phlegm off your chest. Well, we can say, what we'll say is that it's, we'll say that it's medicinal, because I have got a bit of a cold coming on, I think. Some of the lads have had it at work. So, yeah, we'll call it medicinal. And we'll pour ourselves a bit of dark fruits rum and start our weekend right. That's what we'll do. We'll start our weekend right. So, yeah, I already recorded all this and bloody lost it. I don't know. Should we try this? Ooh. I'm not sure I like that. Shall we have 3 or 4 more of them and see if I like it? I don't know, it's a bit weird. It's almost like Vimto. Tastes like a cheeky Vimto. I might have to let our lass try some of that. That tastes like it's going to kick your head in. Which I'm not sure is such a good thing or not. Anyway, we'll park that there. I'm not sure I like that. Yeah, it tastes like fucking... Yeah, it tastes really strong for one. I know I probably said a decent measure, but yeah, it tastes like medication. It tastes like if you get Vimto, put vodka in it. If you've tried that, try it. You might like it. If you like it, try it. If you don't like it, try it. You might like it. So yeah, I'm not sure. Should we try some more? It might be a grower. I might need to have one to, you know, to coat the throat, as they say. I don't know, it's growing on me. So yeah, went to the Games Fair. Now I've not been to the one that Dana and Ant run before, but I've always tried to go, but I've always been sort of caught up doing other things, or always busy doing other shit, like you do. So I've never actually had a chance to go. This was the 3rd event that they've put on, I believe, the third one. And yeah, it was cracking. I would say I had a really good day out. It was a long day because Craig's car had knacked up, so I went over to collect Craig and took him, and then took him home again. But he's done me many favours in the past, Craig. So it was a favour I needed to return. And excuse me, I'm sure many more favours will be done for Craig as well. But yeah, it was a good day. Like I say, the sun shone for the first time this year, which was a miracle. Took us quite a while to get there, but when we got there, we got a little bit lost. The sat-nav did its usual thing and parked me over the road instead of outside the actual place. So I rang Stuart, who UK, who guided us in, I think. What did you say, Stuart? I don't know where the fuck you are, but we're here. Something like that. Like, good luck. He didn't know where the bloody hell I was. We were outside some sort of dodgy establishment, but you know, we'll not go into that any further. And yeah, we're just a bit lost. So rang up, said, "Where is it?" So went to drive out, and just across from us saw loads of people, loads of shady characters that looked like they might be waiting for a games event. So we trundled up there, and luck would have it, that's where it was. Car park bang outside as well, this place. And it was an archery centre that they held it in this time. And I'm really late to the party here with this one, because you'll have heard all the stories anyway, but apparently the roof was leaking, and yeah, it wasn't. The stall holders weren't really keen on having all their stuff, you know, drowned in water. So that was a thing. But yeah, great little event. As I say, I'd like to see it kind of stay small if we could. I wouldn't like it to grow much more. I think it'd lose some of its sort of personality, if you like. None of the others are like this. The others are there's a very corporate feel to them. Most of the stall holders are traders because they charge more money for the stands and stuff at the other events. But no, it was more enjoyable, I would say, than you know, waiting for hours and hours and hours in a town centre to force my way into a sweaty room with way too many people in it and way too overpriced games. It was just what we want. It was we got there just after 11 o'clock. I think it was early bird was £2 before 11, but then it was free. It was a free event after that. I mean, who goes to a free event, you know? It's usually fucking 15, 18 quid on the door, 20 odd quid probably now. So yeah, fair play to that. And they'd got a little place inside where you could get drinks and something to eat. And yeah, it was set up really nice, you know? Probably one good circuit around would be, I'm not sure how many tables there were there, but I'd say it was just about right. 4 or 5 more tables, it would have been, you know, yeah, superb. But I wouldn't want to see it get any more than that. Like I say, the kind of the money takes hold of it. It loses its bit of soul, loses a bit of spirit, loses a bit of heart, and you end up losing more money. But everyone loses out then, because the small guys that would sell for a cheaper price are priced out because the tables are too expensive, or they might have a few bits they want to take, and again, they can't really justify, you know, the £50 to justify the cost of the table. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a cracking event, and more power to you, Dana and Ant. They're doing, and it's a real community feel, because it feels like it's done for the community, which it is, you know. So that was good. It was good to see, and good to see a lot of the YouTubers there as well, and look, have them looking after each other as well. Remember that back in the day? Can you remember we used to buy stuff and give it each other, just gift it for free? Remember that? I've got some of that here. Amazingly. Is it growing on me? I don't know. It's got kind of a aftertaste to it. Yeah, still a little bit like medicatory. Unless I mix it with something else, but you know, I think that might be resigned to the back of the cupboard forever, which is not like me. So we get to the event, as I say, park up all right, we get in there. Now I'd bought a few bits with me, which was very cheeky. We sort of trade outside. If you ever want to do some deals in the car park, usually if I'm with Craig, we've got a boot full of bits, you know, that we've brought along that we're not going to pay for a stand. We'll sell it in car park. Craig said what we should have done was got there early and sold it all to the people in the queue before the doors opened. But I'm not going to do that to an event. I did also have the idea of having my little selection sort of on a rope around my neck so I could carry it around like a mobile stall. It's horrible, this one. I keep drinking it. Like a mobile store, but again, that might not have gone down so well. Being as other people had paid to sell their stuff in, they can't just rock up and start selling. But I mean, that's what we tend to do. But we've never had any problems with that. People who are always, oh, what you brought? You know, it's usually us, the sort of circle that we're talking to anyway. But it comes in handy for situations like this. So we get in there. I see Tootie, slag him off a bit. Well, it's all car boot rubbish, this, you know, that sort of thing. Bit of banter with Stuart. And then I start doing a bit of a lap. So I'll go once around, wave at everybody as you saw there, a bit of a wave. Hello, yeah, we're here. And then start digging into what I've come to look for now. At the minute, there's quite a bit I'm looking for. We've got some shrineage going on in the background here. So we've got a Street Fighter shrine. We've got a Metal Gear Solid shrine. I may have told you this before because I feel like I'm repeating the last video, but I lost it. So if I've said this before, forgive me. If I haven't, this is what's happening. We've got the Walk, Right and Fight shrine. Now, if you know what a Walk, Right and Fight is, you might know it more commonly known as a side-scrolling beat-em-up. I call them Walk, Right and Fight because that's what you're doing. You're walking right and you're fighting on most of these games. And then we've got a bit of a Shenmue tribute going on in the corner as well. Above there, you can actually, there's some more shelves. I've got some model cars and stuff. But, and over here in this corner was the cabinet. It's gone. Or it'll be going tomorrow to a very good friend and to a fellow tuber, which I'm glad to do that. I'm getting him a good price on it. And yeah, I need this space. I need this space for another collection I've started. Again, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see what that is. I've kind of alluded to that already, and I've got 25 games for that collection already. But they're cheap as chips, and the selling of the cabinet's more than going to fund them. It's going to fund them another system or two for that collection, and yeah, you know, it's just going to plug that gap. It's going to plug that gap. I've had my fun with it. Like all these things, I buy them, I have my fun with them, then I move them on. So set a bit of a score there for him to tackle. He may do a video on it, I don't know, so I'm not going to say what it is. But yeah, that's gone. The Gallagher cabinet's gone. So I've got a bit of a corner space here. So I'm going to get one of those corner shelving units from IKEA and load it up with this new collection. Or there may be more. It's from a particular generation. I would consider it retro now. So, you know, it's on the cusp of not being, but yeah, I think most people would consider this retro now. It's along the same age as a Dreamcast or a GameCube. It's that era. So you probably worked out what that is, those of you that are really clever and know my history. But anyway, so yeah, we get in there, wandering around. The first person I kind of talked to is Eddie Rollerco was there. Him and his mate Dylan. Dylan's kind of someone we met a long time ago now. Been hanging around the tubes for a long time. He's got his own channel, and yeah, we sort of struck up a conversation. Now I was stood there talking to Eddie. Eddie sort of said, and he's mentioned this on his video as well, so I can say it now. And he's shown the game. So Eddie said, "Have you brought any of them Mega Drive games with you?" So I said, "Yeah, they're in the boot." Wow, what were you interested in? So he said, "Alien Storm." He was interested in Alien Storm. As I say, he showed it now. So he said, "How much is it?" And I think I'd got it up on eBay. I always go in hard on eBay. I always go in here. Always go in at a really lofty price, because you never know. There might be some idiot like me who just wants it to buy it. But now I kind of look at what they're currently on sale for. Don't look at the sold listings, which is what most people do, to find the true, value or something. What I'll do is I'll go in just under what the others are listed at, and then I'll gradually drop it, each week. If you stalk me on eBay, you'll know. I kind of drop it each week until it's around what someone's willing to pay, and then they buy it. That's what happens. So I said, well, I'm on eBay, it's like, X amount of money. Eddie sort of took a step back and went, wow. I still think he thought that they were, it was as cheap as it used to be. And all Mega Drive games have kind of gone up. Apart from the last ones that I've got for sale, they seem to be stalling out a little bit now. They've stalled on the prices. But yeah, I'm not quite sure. I'll just have a quick look at the screen now, because I'm not quite sure how long I'm going to get out of this. So we've got sort of 14 minutes, so we'll see if it cuts off at the 15-minute mark. I don't know how long it'll record for before it stops. It may be like multi-file, I don't know. We're finding out, aren't we? This is kicking me arse, this. Told you it tasted like Benylin. It's like alcoholic Benylin. I am getting more of the fruits now. It's like I say, it's like you took a fruity cider and poured half a gallon of vodka in it. It's pretty strong. So yeah, he said, have you got that? And I said, yeah. Then I noticed this on his stall for the Street Fighter Shrine. Now, for this particular system, I didn't own this game for this system. But since I've emulated it and stuff, I kind of like this one. I like this sort of generation of Street Fighter up to sort of Saturn, although there are some more modern ones there, up to sort of Saturn and PlayStation 2. But after, once we've gotten in to the modern systems, even though there may be some collections and they're worth having, and there's a PlayStation 4 collection up there. After that, I'm not particularly bothered. Up to sort of Street Fighter 4, and then I'm okay. Third Strike being my next favourite, and I need to pick that up. I'm not sure what system I'm going to get that on yet. Probably be Dreamcast, and put that up there in that collection, because again, those versions are my favourites. So anyway, we saw this on Eddie's stand, and I said, I tell you what I will do, Eddie, I'll swap you for that. So he said, all right, okay. So brought it down, showed it me, and I've got it in its protective sleeve now, but it's absolutely minty, this. Eddie very kindly did me this swap, and it's Super Street Fighter 2, the new Challengers. And the screen's gone off just as it would, wouldn't it? So I can't see what I'm showing you, and it's pure box porn, this one. Can you remember the days of this? Can you remember box porn? Look at that sheen. Look at the sheen on the porn. Those of you that aren't into video games that are watching this, Carol, yeah, this is what we used to do. We call this box porn. So when a box is really nice and shiny and minty like that, it's a really old game. We like to do that. We're going to call it box porn. Looks like that. Also, we like to check the flappage. We like to check the flappage. So you open up the box. Now, what we mean by flappage is the flap of the box. And if that's got like a dent in it, it's got a thumbprint in it, it's all very power nerd stuff, this. So if that's got a dent in it, we don't like that. We like them to be nice and sharp. Flappage is good. And it's complete Rooney. So we've got the manual, which is another one of my sayings. Everyone nicks my sayings as well. It's never seen a thumb. It's never seen half a thumb. That it's fantastic condition. The cartridges, sometimes Super Famicom cartridges, they go yellow on the back, but this one is not. It's really nice, and we've got the rest of the Bon Voyage in there as well. The rest of the paperwork, so it's complete in its little plastic case. So yeah, thanks for that, Eddie. Did me a solid there. We did a bit of a swap. Always nice to sort of do a bit of a trade and stuff. So at this point, I've spent no money, and I've already got a really nice condition Super Famicom game. You see, you've got a wheel and deal. I've been watching 2 UK for that many years. It's rubbed off. I've become a bit of a Arthur Daly with all this stuff. So cheers for that, Eddie. Nice one. Now, the next thing I got was, as I say, I'm kind of looking around for anything and everything. And I bumped into Big Mike Houlihan. Without further ado, retro, and always nice to see Mike. Always a big smile from Mike and a nice welcome and a big hearty handshake. And yeah, always nice to see Mike. Now, he was on a stall with, and I think I got this wrong last time, and I think I'm going to get it wrong again, Retro Rewind, I believe it might be called, or something like that. Been around for years, just off my radar for some reason, and he'd got a selection of games there as well. And I started talking about Walk Right and Fights, and I said I think one of the earliest Walk Rights and Fights has got to be Kung Fu Master, and that was something that me and Craig were talking about in the car on the way over there. Is Kung Fu Master a side-scrolling beat-em-up? Yes, it is. It absolutely is, and it may be the very first. Now, I do want Kung Fu Master to go into the collection. I'm not sure what I'm going to pick it up on, though. If you know what that might be on, sort of PlayStation 2 era, or if it's on a, on like a arcade collections disc or something like that, or a cartridge, or whatever it's on, let me know down below. I know it's on Atari and stuff like that, but I'm not going into that rabbit hole. We don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, if it's on sort of like PlayStation or PlayStation 2 or a cartridge, I doubt seriously it's on a cartridge, because they didn't really do that. But it may be on, as I say, from PlayStation. It may be on some sort of collection disc. So if you know, let me know. I'd like it. So Kung Fu Master, we're talking about that, and as I was discussing that, so the guy says, well, what you need is this, and picked up this game for the Game Boy. And I actually had this back in the day for the Game Boy. So we picked this up and he said, you need that? And I said, yes, I do. And that is Double Dragon on the Game Boy, and I did have Double Dragon on the Game Boy. Again, one of the very early Walk Right and fights, and you know, more than likely, let me just show that again so I can see it. Yeah, more than likely, one of the very first Walk Rights and fights I ever played, certainly on the Game Boy, because I think that's the only Walk Right and fight I had on the Game Boy. So that's one for the collection. Another one for the collection here is from Craig. So because I kind of gave him a lift and stuff, and he really didn't have to do this. You didn't have to do this, Craig, but thank you very much. He gifted me a couple of bits for the shrine, for the Walk Right and Fight shrine. Now, I've already got a couple of variants of this up there, but I've always said, and I maintain, and I'm right and you're all wrong, that the the best home port of this is the Mega CD version. It's probably, for me, the best, one of two of the best Mega CD games on that system. One being Snatcher, which is obviously a rip-off of Blade Runner, and that's my all-time favourite movie of all time. But it's Final Fight, and it's Final Fight CD on the Mega CD. Now this is in like a protective baggie, because it's got Kadidge with it. We've got Spine Kadidge. So a Spine card is present. We love our Kadidge, as we all know. And again, someone's ripped that idea off me. They're saying Kadidge as well now. So, yeah, is Final Fight CD. Now, it's the Japanese version. I had the PAL version. But I think the disc art and the game art on the actual CD itself is a lot nicer. And that's really nice to have. Like I say, I had that back in the day. I may end up getting the PAL one as well, just for nostalgic reasons. But that's one that I would more than likely have picked up anyway. And I can emulate it over here. I don't need to have the system. Problem with the Mega CD is they're not getting any younger. I know the Mega CD one, which is my favourite one, does have some issues. You know, you're going to be looking at swapping capacitors. You know, I've got an Xbox there that needs a cap kit, so I've got enough to do. You know, I've got enough fannying about with those to last a lifetime. I've got 3 Xboxes here that I need to fettle. Another video coming up. Now, to go along with that wasn't good enough for Craig, you see, because he's that sort of a guy. To go along with that, he gifted me this, and this is really nice, but it's sealed. I have a problem. I can't open this because it's sealed, but I would like to get inside it because there's a DVD in it, and the soundtrack, it's the official thing for Final Fight. And as you can see, the artwork on it is stunning. It has, that continues onto the back. There is some wording here, but it's in Japanese, so I can't read it. But yeah, it's sealed. You can see the plastic on it. It's still sealed. Nice spine. But yeah, I really like that. But as a piece, but it says on it says CD5 and DVD 1. So there's 5. Is there 5 CDs in this? Is that what that means? And 1 DVD. So it says 6. So 6 discs, I think, is in this. What a cracking item. Thanks for that, Craig. As I say, a really nice compendium to go in the Walk Right and Fight collection. I may open it one day. Tell me if you think that's sacrilege. It's not got like a Capcom or any sort of tear strip on it or anything like that. It's but it's sealed. So do you get where I'm coming from? All those sealists. The sealists among you will know what I mean by that. But yeah, unfortunately, or fortunately, it's sealed. But together, they make a really nice set, you know, and they look awesome in that collection. So cheers for that, Craig. Thank you. Didn't have to do that, but he said, "Oh, you've picked me up and stuff," and you know, it's a bugger for that, Craig. It's a bugger for that. Bit of Castlevania going on behind us here. I don't own that. That's emulation. I do not own Bloodlines, obviously, because it costs a bloody fortune. That's Dracula X, and I don't own that. I have owned that, actually, in the past for the Super Famicom. Again, that's emulated. Dirty in here. It's absolutely filthy. It's dripping in emulation in here. Now, I have got a little bit of a 16-bit sort of collection going on. There's a little shrine there for the Mega Drive. I've honed that right down. 5 games now in the Mega Drive collection, just 5. And I have got a loose cart collection of Super Famicom apart from the boxed ones that I've got in the Street Fighter collection. But we'll look at all those after. I've got some plans for videos coming up. We've got, as I say, a new collection video that I want to start to do. We've got a bit of tinkering to do. As I say, I'm doing these cap kits and stuff that I might video. I'm playing around again with Game Boys and Game Boy Advances. And DS's, making DS macros, and I'm messing around again. I'm sort of tinkering, and then there's the shrines to look at as well. I want to take you on that shrine journey. So there's a lot to do, and I'm kind of got my mojo back thanks to Stuart, Ninja Bear Hug there that's back. So it gave me this sort of kick up the arse, and I thought, yeah, if we're all right lamenting the missing people on YouTube, but I'm more guilty of that than any of you. So. Yeah, we're back, baby. We're back in full effect. Now, as I say, went round, had a couple of chats with Stuart. He always seemed very busy though, too. I couldn't really get close. And I don't like to, when someone's on a stall and they're selling, I don't like to get in their face and start taking their time up. One, they need to watch their stuff to make sure it's not getting half-inched. And two, they're there to sell their stuff. So I don't, although Stuart, after that, I said to him, all right, he said, oh, you just disappeared. I said, yeah, but I don't like to sort of engage you in conversation if you're busy or, you know, you've got people around you. It's not fair. And he was like, oh, no, don't worry about that. So, you know, next time, Stuart, I'll bug you for a lengthy number of minutes. So, yeah, we did have a chat, though, with Rob, the YouTuber formerly known as Fob, was there stalling out. Now, Rob does some really cool prints of things on things. That sounds a little bit tenuous, a little bit cryptic. But yeah, he was there selling his stuff. Now, as I say, he does logos, he does marquees, he does all sorts of stuff like that, and prints. But he also sells games and that as well. But he does have this kind of a sideline that he does, this kind of a side thing. And I spotted one or two of these marquees, and I thought, well, if I'm going to move the Gallagher cabinet on, I want some marquees around. Really like the artwork, and I like how a marquee looks. For definitely for the older stuff. So he said, well, have a look, see if there's you want. And I spotted this one and I said, you know what, I've got to take that. I've got to take that. And he said, take it, you can have it. And I was like, what? No way. And he's got them on his store for sale. And I said, no, I can't do that. I can't just take it. I'm not just taking it. So he said, no, just take it. And then the one that's not here actually gave me another one. Yeah, this first one I picked up, and he said, oh, there's scratches and stuff on it, it's alright. But with my paints and my new found interest in art, I can kind of touch these up. It's just on the satin black bits, and I can touch that in it, and it'll look fantastic. Not that it doesn't look fantastic already, and that's the Gyrus marquee. Look at that, fantastic stuff. So Gyrus, along with Time Pilot and Gallagher, Mooncrester and Phoenix, I would say, my all-time favourite shooters from back in the day, from back in the 80s, when all there was shoot-em-ups. Before the likes of Track and Field. In fact, I think Track and Field was before this actually, but yeah, Gyrus a bit later on in that. But Gyrus was in my video shop in my local village. Spent many hours playing Gyrus, and still to this day like to play it. Awesome game. So yeah, I saw that. I said, well, I've got to have that. So he kind of said, you can have it. I don't know, Rob. So I pointed out he'd got a Stranger Things one as well. And I said, oh, I daren't take that. Because I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll buy a couple off you then. I'll take that. If you're going to give me that, I'll buy a couple more. I said, oh, Lass would kill me if I took that Stranger Things one home. And he went, here, you can have it. I was like, oh, no. So I've got a Stranger Things one as well. That's going to go elsewhere. But I picked up I said, no, you stop this. It's madness. Stop it. And I picked up two more. So the next one, which I think is really stunning, is Galaxian. Really like that. I think that's really, really nice. Again, very vibrant, stands off. And I don't think that's damaged at all. There's no marks or anything on that. There might be one or two little chips, but yeah, it's fantastic. I love that. Galaxian. I know where I used to play that. I used to play that in the leisure centre. Sometimes when you didn't want your eyes burning out with chlorine, because our leisure centre, the pH on it was the same as hydrochloric acid. All the guys used to come out with their eyes all puffed up red, especially if they'd been in the wave machine, which nearly killed somebody, and got that, or did it drown somebody? Anyway, the leisure centre shut down. Yeah, back in the day when things were dangerous, when we were allowed to be in dangerous situations on our own, without guidance. So yeah, I used to play that there, and there was a golf there as well, I believe. So I used to go up to, there was like a little canteen, I'd get little tray chips and play a Galaxian. I mean, who don't want that? Who doesn't want chips in Galaxian? Fantastic. Meds are kicking in. Medication time. Medication time. So I said, and actually, I can't leave this one behind either, because it's a series of games that everybody knows. It's a series of shooters that will have brutalised you more than once. And it's Gradius, and this one looks really nice. That's really nice artwork. You know, I have been known to play some Gradius games, yeah, I just thought that were awesome. So, and I've got these on the back of my door at the minute here, in the corner, sort of above each other, like in a line. So I said to Rob, yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll buy them two off you. And he went, just take them. Fucking hell. I said, Rob, you can't do that. I said, no, I've got to give you some money. And I stuffed some money in his pouch thing. And he took it straight back out and gave it back. And went, no, absolutely not. You're not paying me for them. So like, fucking hell, Rob. I said, well, do you want out to eat? Can I get you a drink? He says, tell you what, get me a coffee. So those cost me the priceless sum of about £1.20, I think, for a coffee. Fucking unbelievable. Thank you so much, Rob. Thank you for them. I felt absolutely blessed. It blew me away. The generosity was... I've not seen generosity like that in the community for a long time. And, you know, it gave me a real warm feeling, shall I say. I was blown away by it. I was like, Jesus, I'm usually the one giving things away to actually get something back. I'm not asking for anything. Don't say I'm not e-begging. Stuart will be on the phone. Tootie will be ringing. Fucking e-begging. I'm not e-begging, but just that act, that selfless act of that is... Yeah, it's really nice to see it, and I have to say that a lot of the guys... Oh, that was it, yeah. And while I was there talking, James, Retro Import Gamer, comes along, and he says, oh, I like that Don Pachi one. No, it's Don Pachi. I like that Don Pachi one. And Rob just handed it to him and said, take it. Come on, take it. He said, and actually, you can't just have that on its own. And he picked Don Pachi up and gave him that as well. I said, yeah, you need Don Pachi as well. Fucking Rob. Thank you very much. Unbelievable, you know. And it really made the day special. I think I spent £8 and that was on that Game Boy game. I almost spent, and this, you can tell me if I'm wrong here, I'll tell this story. I actually forgot to do this bit on the video that I shot, and I've lost the footage on. But I like a bit of banter with the sellers and stuff, and I like, you know, when I'm excited, when I'm in a good mood, I'm very bantery. I'm very sarcastic though as well, so you've got to kind of watch for it. If I'm having fun with you and I'm keeping a straight face, I'll hold it long enough for you to think that I have really got a problem, or this, you know, I've got an attitude. And it has got me in more trouble than I care to mention over the years. It's fun for me, but it has, you know, if you... Those people that know me know. You know, those people that don't know me that well get offended and then think I'm a prick for the rest of my life. Hey ho. But yeah, so I'm at this store, and a couple of the guys have already talked about this chap. He'd got some really good stuff, and but he wanted top dollar for it all. Now what he got was, and this was on my radar a while ago, because there needs to be a shmup shrine, doesn't there? Of course there does. And I don't know how that's going to manifest itself. Once I get the bookshelves over here, it might end up being, you know, I'll have more space. So it may be quite sort of hefty. It could be, couldn't it? Because there are that many. But again, I would have to keep it to the ones that meant something to me. Everything I want on display, I want to be able to tell you a story about where I was when it came out, or where I used to play it, or that stuff. That's nostalgia. It's the nostalgia room here. That's why there are RC cars and guitars and stuff like that you don't see. But it's all about the things that I had or wanted when I was a kid. And it's because I'm 54 now, and, you know, you're lucky there's not a rally burner hanging from the wall just there. Never had a rally burner. The lads at work torment me mercilessly about it. Always wanted a rally burner. I helped the local kids in our village dig the BMX track in a wreck that was just at the side of the school, and I never got to ride around it. Never got a BMX. You know, This is why I'm like I am. It is. I'm trying to fill the gaps that were there as a child. I'm healing the wounds, trying to get rid of the scars. Aren't we all? Anyway, it's that bit deep. So, I see this game. It's a release by Taito, and it's the R-Type version for the Super Famicom. So within this box set, there's art cards and stuff like that. You'll have seen it. But there's art cards and stuff like that, and it was a Super Famicom release. So it's the Japanese cartridge. So there's a proper Super Famicom cartridge in there, and on that cartridge is Super R-Type and R-Type 3/3 Lightning. Now the price that this guy had got this for on his stall was about what you'd pay for Third Lightning as well. So, and it's a really nice piece, and it was sealed. So I'm thinking an R-Type shrine. Now that's good. That's a good idea, because it's R-Type's one of the games that I played very early on. It's always been around as many iterations of R-Type. I really like the game. It's probably my favourite side-scrolling shoot 'em up is R-Type, and all the variations of it. I had it on the Master System and played it a lot. I had it on the C64 and played it a lot. You know, and all the other. I've had it on PlayStation. I've had it on PlayStation 2. What else? I don't think I went for the more modern ones. Did I have it on something else? Anyway, played it a lot. So looked at that and thought that would be a nice start. That'd be a really nice piece. And I had a word with Craig and said, "What do you think? You know, that'd be a good collection. That, wouldn't it? R-Type, and it means something to me." And he was like, "Yeah, go for it." Now this guy had got it on his stand at £120. So I did the usual thing that we do, and I know stall holders don't like this. But I kind of went to eBay and had a look what it was fetching on eBay, and I couldn't find one under about 140 quid. So I'm already thinking, well, that's a decent deal. That's a decent deal. I think I took about 150 quid, so I got the cash, and I thought, well, I'll offer him a cheeky 100 quid. So I went up and I'm having a look on his stuff, and I engage him in a bit of witty repartee. In other words, sarcastic banter, and he's playing along. We're having a bit of a laugh, and I pick this up and I say, "That's really nice, isn't it, that?" And he says, "Oh yeah, I never opened it, blah blah blah." So I said, "I'll tell you what," and I opened my wallet and I started taking 20 quid notes out of my wallet, and he was like, "Oh," like as I was going to buy it. I got to 100 quid and I went, 100 quid, there you go, 100 quid for it. And he went, "Oh, yeah," and I thought he was umming and ahhing because he'd got it at 120, he didn't quite want to take it. And I went, "Come on, look, cash in my hand, I'll walk away at that. I'll give it you now for it, or I'll just walk off with it." And that smell of cash under the nose, I've had success with that in the past. But I didn't realise that there's a lady stood on my left hand side. I noticed this sort of lady stood here to my left hand side, and he said, "Well, the problem is I've offered it her for 100 quid." So I looked at her and she kind of looked up at me with this like look on her face, like a bulldog licking piss off a thistle. You know, rested bitch face number 10. But me being a gentleman, I said, "Oh no, sorry, I didn't realise somebody had already offered you that for it. Obviously, if she's first, you know, I've missed out," kind of thing. And he went, "Well, she's not really bought it yet." And I kind of looked at her and looked back at him, and I was like, what situation am I in the middle of here? I don't want to be a prick, but I'm about to be. So I said, "Well, what's the situation then? Are you buying it?" And I looked at her and I said, "Are you buying it?" And she sort of like went, And I looked at him and went, "Well, if she's umming and ahhing, I'm here now with me 100 quid. There you go. Where's your money?" So I looked at him and went, "Well, where's your money?" And her face really shrunk down and almost turned itself inside out and back to front. So I went, "Well, I don't want to be a dick, but I want to buy it, you know." And he said, "Well, the kind of deal with her is that she buys that and she buys something else, which is quite an expensive Neo Geo game." So I said, "Oh, right." I said, look to her. I said, "Look, I don't want to be a dick about it." I said, "I'll tell you what I'll do. While you're thinking about it, I'm going to do a lap around the event. When I come back, if it's still there and you're not, then I'll offer it him again." So anyway, I went off, and as I came back round, she was still stood with him talking, and she's eyeing me up and eyeballing me up. And I'm thinking, well, if it's a dick swinging competition, you know, she can have the bigger dick, and I'm used to that anyway. So I kind of stood with Eddie and Craig, and we were talking, and they were like, "What's going on?" I said, "I'm just waiting for her to go away, and then I can go over there and buy it." But anyway, the upshot is, after about what seemed like forever, I looked over and it had gone, so she'd bought it, she took it. And actually in the middle of all this, while I was doing this kind of, stuck in the middle of this thing, a fella come up, and he sort of said, oh, what's going on? And I said, oh, it's all right, mate. I said, I didn't realise that, she'd already offered him the money for the game and stuff. And he like went, well, it's not to do with me, that, and walked off. So I think there was a little bit of, he didn't really want to spend that wedge. To be honest, to be honest with you, it didn't look like they could afford a cup of tea. Never mind spending the thick end of this wedge. But, you know, I don't like to judge a book by its cover, but anyway. So I kind of, yeah, was I being a prick? Probably a little bit, but it was meant in good. It was good humoured prickiness, if that's a thing. Yeah. But yeah, I was kind of, well, you know, I'm here now. Take my money. What are you waiting for? My cash is here, out in front of you. But he didn't take it. But and I mean, at 120, I should have just gone, well, I'm taking it at 120 and just bought it in front of her face. I tell you what, mate, here's the extra 20 and just bought it in front of her. But again, I wanted her to have that chance to get it. If she'd already offered him the money and he'd said yeah, then fair enough. But yeah, so that cost her about, what, 300 quid because the Neo Geo game she was taking as part of that deal was that. So let me know in the comments below, was I being a prick? Did I do the right thing? Should I feel guilty? You know, I don't think so. She got to get it anyway, didn't she? But I feel like I may have pushed her into buying it when she didn't want it. But if she didn't want it, I would have bought it, wouldn't I? So I don't know. Let me know. What do you think? You're probably going to agree with me. Yes, you were being a dick, but it's okay. So yeah, that was that kind of the thick end of it. I went round another couple of times and it had really thinned out by then. The people had really thinned out. I tried to buy some stuff from Ant at his stall, and I tried to buy some stuff from Dana, but Dana was just selling Pokemon cards. I'm not into that. But they didn't really have anything for me, and neither did Stuart. So sorry about that, Tootie. I did want to buy something off you. I do like to see Stuart, and we like a bit of banter and that, so I'd like to take some stuff off him. Because I'm doing this other collection, you may have some shit that I can take next time though, Stuart, so I'll have a look, I'll have a closer look. But yeah, all in all, it was a really good day. Myself and Craig then did the old Irish goodbye, and we went outside. We were loading things into the boot and stuff. I got a couple of bits for James, I got a couple of bits that I needed to take back into Eddie, that I'd brought them, that I thought they might like. And so yeah, I gave back in, which is always nice to do. I think, you know, it's a nice thing to do, and it doesn't cost a lot of money for us. I got some games that really didn't cost me a lot of money. I felt that they might like them, and if they don't, they can always weigh them in or sell them on or whatever they want to do with them. You know, we do that little bit of trading and swapping, and it's good stuff, man. I like that. I like that about the community, and it's nice that we can still do it. It's really nice. Yeah, so we kind of did the Irish Cup. I went outside, and then Craig had got something that he wanted to take to one of the local video game stores. There are a couple in and around the area, apparently. We need to go back, actually, and get there a bit earlier or go on a different day and go around these shops. Craig had got something that he wanted to trade in that he felt that the shop might like. James said he knew where it was, so we kind of all bundled in the cars and we drove off. He showed us where it was, but it was shut. You know, so by the time we got there, we were, you know, ready for hitting the road home because it was going to be a long trip back. But yeah, I'd say thank you ever so much to Ant and Dana, Ant and Deck. I did say Ant and Dana for putting that on. Continue, please, lads. And I would say to the rest of the community, the guys that didn't go, those of you that don't necessarily like to go, I know there's a few people that might have a bit of anxiety about the big gatherings and stuff. That'd be perfect for you. It'd be perfect for you. So anyone within the community that might not feel that they're up to, you know, mixing with lots of people. I have social anxiety myself. I know it's hard to believe, but I do. And I don't like it when things are I get really anxious when there's lots of people somewhere. I feel like I just want to, you know, rip my skin off and run away. It's like I get quite het up about it. But yeah, it was really good, and I believe they're going to do it again, but not necessarily in that spot. You need to keep moving it around, you know. As long as you keep doing it, if I can, I'll attend, because yeah, I'm all in now. I'm all in on that one. So hopefully this is recorded. There'll be another one very shortly. I want to keep these videos coming now. Loads of ideas, lots of things happening. But and I've had some new subs. I think maybe guys that used to watch can see that I'm uploading again and they're coming back. Thank you for that. God bless you. You need a medal for subscribing to this channel. I'm thinking about doing some giveaways that may involve some more t-shirts and stuff. Not merch, I'm not selling merch. There'll be gifts, there'll be giveaways, or I might run a little competition or something like that. We'll see. But yeah, I've got a few ideas for stuff for the 100. Let's just say it's for the 100. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I'll be back very soon. Bye now.